So you decided that this year you are leveling up in your finances. However, whatever you do, it feels like the debt would not stop and you're being snowed under. In this video, I want to give you some of the tips on how you can overcome debt and how you can build a better financial habit. What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Miss Ebby here. If you're new to this channel and you've never seen my face before, it is such an honor to have you here. My name is Ebby and I post content about your lifestyle, relationship, your finances, your health, and everything else in between. It is my aim and my vision to see you thrive in every area of your life. If that sounds like your vibe, if that sounds like something you're into, then consider hitting the subscribe button so you do not miss anytime I release a new video. Before we jump into this video, I would like to apologize. I promised you weekly videos and I didn't deliver. My sincere apologies. I have been going through so much, both like personal wise, health wise, and the rest of it. I was having serious toothache. I was holes in my teeth and everything, and trying to get an appointment for NHS was just a joke. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. In the United Kingdom, at least, we operate a credit society. It is the same for the United States, Australia, and many other Western countries. Even though you have never borrowed, the banks and other lending societies and companies, they still consider you high risk and they are not really willing to lend you money. This is because they don't know what your borrowing capability is. They don't know what your borrowing history is. Make sure that you watch this video to the very end, because I'll be showing you how I increased my credit score even whilst I was on a low income, and how you can do the same as well. Now you might be asking, what is a credit score? A credit score essentially is an assessment that is done so that the banks and other lenders can know what kind of risk you are in terms of if they lend you this money, would you pay back? And if you pay back, are you going to pay back on time, or would they have to hound you to pay the money back? A credit score is used to determine how disciplined you are when it comes to your finances. Are you on top of your finances, or are you always struggling? Now you might be asking yourself, okay, I hear you, Ebby, but why should I care? I know, especially as young people, we bury our heads in the sand when it comes to things like, finances. Unless you happen to study investments or accounting, you just don't even want to know. You just make your money, you spend your money, etc., etc. Trust me, my darling, that is a sure way to shoot yourself in the foot. I used to bury my head in the sand for so long, and it literally beats me on my butt. Some of the ways that you can increase and improve your credit score is by signing up to things like credit reporting websites. This includes things like ClearScore or Credit Karma, Equifax, Experian. The list goes on and on and on. So do your research and find the one that is valuable and works for you. By the way, guys, if you're loving this content, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up so that I know that you like it, and you also let YouTube know that you value this content and this content is valuable to you, and they can also show it to people who will benefit from it. I have used so many different credit reporting websites, but the ones that I use right now is Credit Karma, and also I use Experian. I used Credit Karma when I was paying rent, and that's because you can actually report your rent paying and it helps you improve your credit score. Personally, I don't think that you should be paying for credit reporting service, but that's totally up to you. You need to decide what's beneficial for you. I've always believed in, if I can get the same service for free, I don't need to fork out and pay for it. I'm not saying that paying for things is bad, but when it comes to credit reporting, I really don't see the point. It doesn't make any financial business sense to me. One way that you can improve your credit score is if you are renting and you are good with your rent, as in you pay your rent on time or you even pay a little bit early, is by using Credit Karma. You can report your renting to that website, and over time, in a couple of months, it will boost up your credit score significantly as well. So as long as you're paying your rent on time, then I would advise you get Credit Karma, and it's free. So you just report your rent, and even if you move to a different place, you can also carry on, and it will help boost your credit score over time. Another way that you can boost your credit score is by getting a credit card. I know, hear me out. Hear me out. I know. For so long, right, I used to think that credit card was bad, but it's not bad in itself. It just depends on how you use it. Here are my tips when it comes to getting a credit card. Usually I will go with a credit card within the same bank that I have a current account with. So for example, if you have a current account with Barclays or you have a current account with HSBC, usually they will have members only credit card, and that would help you in terms of the interest rates that you would get. One of the ways that I use credit card is, say for instance, I wanted to buy something on Amazon. It might even cost me like £50 for instance. I will literally use my credit card and I'll pay it like a week after, because I know I already have the money. So that's the way I built my credit score, and my credit score went from really low to at one point 999, and that's literally basically the highest you can get. With a credit card, usually when you get it first, you usually get interest-free period of purchases. Sometimes it's 12 months, sometimes it's 18 months, sometimes it's 20 months or something like that. Within that time, you're allowed to pay off your credits on your credit card minimum payment without accruing interest. So when you are paying off your credit card, what I would suggest is not just pay off the minimum balance because you're not getting any interest, but pay slightly above the minimum balance. So for instance, what I used to do is, if my minimum balance was like £25, I would usually pay maybe like 40, 50, sometimes even £70. It just depends on how I'm feeling that month. So that shows the credit reporting agencies that you pay above the minimum requirement. So that means that you are trustworthy when it comes to them lending you money and you paying it back on time. Another thing that you will want to do is just clear off the loans as much as you can. It might take a lot of sacrifices. You might have to limit the times that you're buying takeaways, you're buying takeaway coffees or whatever. You might have to limit that and sacrifice, but do all you can to clear off your loans, whether it be overdrafts or other credit cards that you might have acquired over the years. And with that one, when it comes to paying off credit card loans, look for other credit companies that they do balance transfers offers. So you can balance transfer and you have like, I don't know, 6 months or so to clear off the balance, so you won't be paying interest on top of the money you are supposed to be clearing. Another thing that you want to do is to clear out any major debts. So whether it be overdraft, car payments, or whatever it is, do your best to clear them out. You might have to sacrifice on certain things, especially if you're on a low income. When I was only earning even 16,000 a year and I was owing I was owing them overdraft, I literally had to sacrifice. I used to not buy Chinese for a while. I used to not buy takeaway drinks. I just switched from buying juices to just drinking water, because I was determined to finish paying off that overdraft and close close the account down. Now if you haven't watched my video on how I cleared my overdraft, then click right here and go watch the video. Guys, if you're loving this video, make sure you share it to your friends and your family who you know would benefit from it, so that they can get themselves out of a slump and build a better financial health this year. So I've already touched on this, but there's some traps that you can fall into if you're not careful when it comes to a credit card. If you're an impulse shopper, please don't get a credit card. I beg you. You end up in more trouble than is necessary. So many people have the mentality of a credit card, yeah, I can spend it whenever I like, whatever. No, you can't. The banks are lending you money. They have agreed that you can have so much of this money and you'll be paying it back. So don't put yourself in more dangers than is necessary. I know emergencies happen and that's understandable. If you plan and anticipate for these emergencies occurring, you can handle them a lot better. Some young people or even older people, they might not have any credit whatsoever. So one way that you can build this is by getting yourself a phone contract. It doesn't even have to be expensive, even if it's £10 a month, whatever phone it is. Get yourself a phone contract. Make sure that you're paying it off on time every single month. The best way to do this is by just creating a direct debit and make sure that there's money in your account every single month so that it goes through. You don't want a situation whereby the banks have tried to take the direct debit and it's failed, and I know some banks charge you for bounce direct debit, which I just find that ridiculous. But anyway, that's just my opinion. There are so many other ways that you can improve your credit score, but one way that I think is accessible to most people is council tax. So you're renting privately, I'm sure that you're in a house where you have to pay council tax. So make sure that you pay your council tax on time every single month. Again, the best way to do this is setting up a direct debit, and it just takes it out automatically. So even if you travel and you forget, you know, it goes out automatically and you don't have to worry about you being penalized or whatever the case may be. Another way that you can do this as well is, say you go to the gym, that gym membership that you have, every single month that the money is leaving your account, you're reporting it to a website, or rather to reporting agencies like Credit Karma, for instance, like Equifax, for instance. It is helping you increase your credit score, and over time, when companies can see like your credit history, they're more likely to give you a loan when you need it for emergencies, for example. There are some pitfalls that you need to avoid when it comes to trying to build your credit score and trying to have a better credit financial health. One thing that you need to do is, please, for the love of God, don't have too many open bank accounts. Why do you need 5 or 6 bank accounts open, please? What are you doing? Even if you're a business person, have one business bank account. Why do you need to be opening a ridiculous amount of bank accounts? Because that is actually affecting your credit score. I had to close some of my bank accounts because I wasn't using them, and that helped improve my credit score. And if you have more than 3 bank accounts, right, I think you should just close the rest of them, transfer money into the main ones that you use and close the other ones down, because it's affecting your credit score and you don't want that to be the case. The way that the banks see this is you have too many financial obligations and they're not willing to lend you money, and that affects your credit score, and it affects you, say for instance, getting on the mortgage ladder if that's what you want. Whatever you do, however you can, please avoid bankruptcy and CCJs. CCJs will it will put you in a lot of trouble, and it's really difficult for you to get a job, especially in this current climate, in COVID season and also. So try your possible best to not get a CCJ. Even if you can get an IVA, it's better than you getting a CCJ. A A CCJ is a county court judgment, which means that the courts have compulsory forced you to pay this amount of money every month, whereas an IVA is an agreement that you've made. Yes, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as the CCJ. Okay, so try what you can. Like I said, if you have to sacrifice, if you have to do the bare minimum to make sure that you are paying off your debts on time, to make sure that you clear off things that are affecting, so create a budget, stick to the budget, and try your possible best to just not have bad debts. Yes, you can use debt to advance, you can use debt to build investment portfolios, but make sure that you don't have bad debts. Okay, so by creating a budget and sticking to it, even on a low income, you can make sure that you increase your credit score. If you have received value from this video, I want you to comment down below. Dominate. Let's encourage each other. Let me know that you are ready to dominate your finances this year. And if you've watched to this point, congratulations, you are the real G's, you are the real MVP, and I am so proud of you. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you do not miss anytime I release powerful videos with power-packed tips just like this one. If you know someone that will benefit from this video, make sure to share it to them. So until next time, when I come your way again with another amazing video full of powerful instructions and tips that will help you thrive in every area of your life, I always remain your girl, Abby.